coming from Africa. Let's support each other's business.
Okay, so I had to play this video because this video is something that needed to be played. I needed to, this is for educational purpose only, but nevertheless I had to do this because what he's about to say is so true. And yes, I'm going to give commentary on it, and yes, I'm going to cut him off at times. If you don't like it, you can go somewhere else and watch, but I'm going to do that. That's my commentary.
If you see your brother trying to make ends meet, support his business. You get to the point now. You know, when I came to America newly, I used to think African Americans are lazy. They don't want to work and all that. You will never understand the struggle of African Americans until you live in the system for 5 years. Then you understand that being black in the system is already playing you 10-0. Like you are 10 steps behind. The schools in black neighborhoods, they're all underfunded.
Right.
The only thing you can find anywhere, everywhere in black neighborhood is liquor store. Keep drinking and keep much to live in white neighborhood. Before I used to say, playing you 10-0. Like you are 10 steps behind. The schools in black neighborhoods, they're all underfunded. The only thing you can find anywhere, everywhere in black neighborhood is liquor store. Keep drinking and keep yourselves busy. Right. Now I understand why everybody's fighting so much to live in white neighborhood.
But thank you for finally understanding what the situation is. And you know what's so funny about that? Every other nationality who don't go through this shit always want to compare themselves to black people who have been knocked 10 steps behind and has to pull themselves up from their own bootstraps, while all these foreigners and white people get government assistance out the yin-yang, are given more opportunity than anybody else to be able to keep themselves out of poverty. Residual effects of the Reconstruction era, where in the Jim Crow era, where they turned around and burned down all black people towns, and what they didn't burn down, they stole. The residual effects of the wealth that white people acquired, and these Mongols calling themselves Native American acquired as a result of the fall of black people. They don't want to talk about that. They want to compete with you when they have made it and designed it for you to be at your lowest point. And then it was like, oh, this one is smarter, this one is better. That's because you defund our schools. You take all the equity out of our schools. You take it and put boarding schools there where they teach compulsory education, which is just indoctrination, and there's no truth and no actual education in any of what our kids are learning. You will tell us that our kids are failing even when they're excelling. You will try to make them the lowest. You will try to leave them back to hurt them. You will try not to teach them as good as you teach the white kids and then compare them. You will, even when they are successful and smart, you will try to leave them back and have them and give them bad marks. I know, because they were doing that to my niece and nephew, especially in Florida. Florida good for trying to fail a black kid. Don't get me started on how Hispanics treat black kids in their schools. This is what our kids are up against. Racial discrimination, racial profiling, dumbing our kids down, taking the equity out of our kids' school. I'm glad you finally understand what is going on. When he said, what really got me is when he said they get drunk to have something to do. Right. And then no wonder all they do is fight, because ain't nothing there but something promoting the energy, them spirits. All them damn spirits of anger, frustration, coupled with what society is holding over black folk. That's why there's always fighting. That's why we're not doing what we need to. And that is why black people fight to get out of black communities. It's not that they want to live around white people. They just no longer want to live in hooded areas full of alcohol and violence and police brutality and defunded schools.
Before I used to say they are not proud of their skin color. They don't love who they are. But they're actually fighting for their children's future. Because being black in the system is already playing you 10-0. You are 10 steps behind. Is it you that is coming with underfunded certificates that want to be competing with somebody that is 10 steps ahead of you? Being black in the system is tough. You see, African Americans and Africans, we're all the same.
We're not African, right? And I'm going to stress that again. We are not African. We are not the same. And I'm not going to keep going over history to explain that. We are not the same. But nevertheless, we are melanated people who can stand together to understand that there's a system against another melanated group. We don't have to be the same people to fight for each other. There are white people who fought for black people. You don't need to be the same race to stand up and understand injustice. You need to have the understanding that there is justice, injustice, and as a person that believes in God, and as somebody who believes in loving others, and believe in truth and believe in righteousness, you stand up to protect that person. You stand up and say, now this is injustice. Look at what you're doing to the schools. Look what you're doing to these people. This is not right here. How can they compete with anybody else if they schools don't even got books? How can they compete with anybody else if this is what you're doing to their schools? How can you say white kids are smarter than black kids when white kids are given adequate education, even though it's indoctrinated lies? But how can our kids compete when you're literally dumbing them down by not giving them adequate ability to be able to be educated? You're competing with somebody while making them fail. You're a loser for real. You ain't winning, you winning by default. Could you handle a whole bunch of black kids that were educated? No. You would feel inferior. That's why they dumb these schools down. That's why they take all the books out of them. But if black people were smart, black people got all this money, we in the trillions of dollars, start building schools. All y'all knuckleheads out here doing all this extra stuff. All y'all, we need to do is get this to celebrities. All y'all out here with all this money. How come none of y'all celebrities ever thought to open up a school? You got all these millions and billions of dollars. Nobody ever thought of opening up a school in America. Oprah went and opened one in fucking Africa, but didn't think to ever open one in America. Make it make sense. Look at what's going on in Kentucky. Look at some of the schools in Louisiana. Look at some of the schools in South Carolina, hospitals. We need hospitals. We need freaking educational systems, vocational training schools. There was a 20-year-old black boy who opened up a school. Opened it up by himself, a boarding school. Got all the funding, teach these kids trade, everything, educate them. Why are we not getting together, helping this boy open up more schools so that our kids are properly educated? We too lazy to even get together and too divisive to even get together to fund a schools. No, just a charter school. Ain't got to be no super duper because, come on, Umar Johnson wanted all this. No, actually open up schools. We need more schools, vocational training schools, schools that teach our kids true history, true facts, right, with first-hand sources. We need hospitals and clinics. These are the things we need. Anyway,
let us not be distracted. We are all the same. The only difference is that one is living in America, the other one is coming from Africa. Let's support each other's business. If you see your brother trying to make ends meet, support his business. You get to the point now. Peace and love.
Even though I want to disagree with you, I get where you're coming from. When I see black people talking about racism, all that stuff, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? You guys have food, you have EBT, all this thing, and you're here shouting about somebody is racist.
Well, first of all, let's correct this with EBT. White people get EBT more than black people. All this making us the face of subsidies. We're finding out white people get more of this than anybody. Government assistance go more toward immigrants and whites than it has ever anybody else, and especially more than black people in America. And I want people to understand that. Stop making us the face of social service and welfare and tell it how it really is. White people get food stamps. White people get government assistance. White people do. So do a lot of immigrants. Mexicans, Hispanic, Latinos, Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans. Y'all come over here getting a lot of food stamps. Arabics, Russians. A lot of y'all come over here, okay, Hindustan. A lot of y'all come over here getting government assistance and a lot of it. Not to mention you guys get county grants, right? You get county grants. Some of y'all get people who help y'all get farms and businesses. Y'all not pulling yourself up from your own bootstraps. A lot of y'all get government subsidy.
Just leave that person and move on. I feel that way. Like, why are they always like complaining? But when Black Lives Matters started happening, like, I sat down, I said, I need to actually know why these people are pained. And if we look at the history, what they've done to them, like if you actually sit down, watch some documentaries, how they were maltreated, I don't think if I'm actually born, I will forgive those people. I don't care. It's easier for us Africans that were raised in Africa to feel like they're complaining because we were raised through struggle. Like I barely even have water, and you have water, you're complaining. But then it's not about the basic necessity or about how we are raised. We are raised like, I don't want to say way better. We might not have resources, but there are some way, like our own people will not look down on us or put us behind. So it's in they're nurtured that way. Like they just can't overlook it. And if you sit down and watch everything that the forefathers have been through for you, I changed my mind. No, they need to be angry. However, they should still move forward. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
We have tried our best to move forward, but it's hard with a lot of Black people because a lot of Black people have been taught to be so divisive against their fellow brethren. They have been taught to be so divisive to it doesn't even make sense. So sometimes it's hard to get together with a group of Black people and be like-minded and try to move forward because they found so many ways to keep us divided. We're divided by hue of complexion, even within the same family. We're divided by old scars that the family has done, right? We're divided by gender. They have found so many ways. Willie Lynch letter, that stuff still sticks. They're still doing it. They find so many ways to make us fight amongst ourselves, and we fall. Left wing, right wing, Republican, Democrat, Christian, non-Christian. We are always fighting for some reason under the sun. And we never ever take the time to assess, why are we even talking about this? Why are we not getting together and just loving each other? And why are we not building together? Why are we not asking any question? We're just fighting. And everybody just wants to be right. And nobody wants to sit back and take accountability and be mature enough to say, you know what? I dropped the ball. I don't care who's right or wrong. Let's just fix this all together as one. We need to come together as a people. Nobody's doing that because there are so many avenues to keep us fighting. Anyway, this is Kendra with Truist TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay up, stay blessed. Put God first above all else.